What is going on, Entertainment? So I'm coming to you with another reality roundup where we're talking Basketball LA, Basketball Orlando, and Housewives of Potomac. Okay, let's start off with LA. Okay, the wig station of it all. So they're in their last day of Arizona. Vanessa's sick. To be honest, she says that she wasn't feeling good and whatever for the last night. I just think she didn't want to get snatched up the last night because the girls were still, feeling a little heated after everything that didn't happen with Clayana. So I didn't think she wanted any more smoke. So, she played it out and got her a free vacay for that night, right? So, they decide to plan the stripper night, right? Where they go to the strip club, they have fun, but it's a dude strip club. So it's not a female strip club. So you ain't gonna see Punani, you're gonna see D. So it's a male strip club. The girls all go there except for Vanessa. So Brittany decides to take it upon herself and invite Clayana to the strip club, right? Clayana shows up, curly wig and all. I thought that was your real hair, Clayana. But under your hair, you had a good amount of hair. Why you gotta wear a wig? That's my whole thing. She had a chock full of hair underneath that wig. So why you got that big old wig on? I guess it's because of the humidity in Arizona and to, hide the heat in her hair. Heated. Okay. So she put on that big ass wig on. So they all are at the strip club. They're all having fun. They beat. They shaking their big Debbie cakes. Next thing you know, they start playing WAP. You can't make this up. This seemed like a scene out of Baddies. I'm like, y'all gotta be kidding me. Y'all fighting in the middle of the club. They start playing WAP. There's holes in this house. 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 So they start playing WAP. Clayana starts shaking her big Debbie cakes. Jennifer's shaking her big Debbie cakes. And Jennifer's standing right next to Evelyn. So Jennifer starts pointing like Sexy Red. You like my voice? It turn you on. You know how Sexy Red. So she's pointing like Sexy Red. Jennifer starts pointing like Sexy Red. And in the chorus where it said, there's holes in this house, she directly points at Clayana. Now, Clayana takes issue with this and gets extremely mad. She starts to huff, puff her chest and starts to say, she's like, who you pointing calling a hoe? Who you pointing calling a hoe? A 304. Okay? I might have been number 4 to my baby daddy, but I'm not a 304. All right? So she gets to sitting down. She's talking to Giselle. And Giselle like, what happened? Like, wait. What happened, Clayana? And Clayana's just like, that pointed at me. She's calling me a hoe. She's saying I'm the hoe in this house. I'm not the only hoe in this house. There's plenty others. Okay, so she feels away. Giselle tries to play mediator between what Clayana's saying and what Jennifer was doing. Jennifer, you was being petty. I watched the scene back. You was trying to be funny. But guess what, Clayana? You have the maturity of a 5-year-old. I would have been petty right back. I would have been pointing both hands at her. Be like, there's that hoe over there. There's that hoe over there. She a easy ass lick. She a lick. That nigga using her for her coin. Because what does that dude do? No shade. I'm just saying. Okay? So instead of being so hurt by it, I would have been petty right back. Because then it's petty for petty. Okay? Call me Kenneth Petty. Petty for petty. How about that? Okay? So Giselle's trying to go back and forth. Giselle like, Jennifer, like, you kept pointing at her, like, what's up, Jennifer? Like, you pointing at her, like, she said you pointed at her, call her a hoe. She said you pointed at her, call her 304. She said you pointed at her and said she got an ad online. Like, what's up? So Jennifer's just like, no, I was just pointing, like, it wasn't nothing, like, like, I wasn't being shady. Jennifer, she always copy the plea when somebody confront her about something, right? So, Evelyn is basically telling Giselle she don't want nothing to do with this. She gonna stay out of it. Let it be between Jennifer and Clayana. So Giselle proceeds to tell Clayana this. That was the wrong decision. When I tell y'all, Clayana flew up out that couch and ran over to Jennifer and stood over her like she was the Hulk. And she said, what'd you say? What'd you say? Or something to that effect. Security got into it so quick, but here's my whole thing. Clayana used that as wrong. Brittany, you was stupid for feeling away because y'all was mad. Well, Brittany, you were mad that Brooke got up. Cleanna did worse than Brooke. She not only got up, but she got directly in Jennifer's face. And y'all know Jennifer no fighter. That's like fighting a fly. And that's your thing, Jennifer. You keep letting people play with you, they're going to keep tap dancing in your face. They're going to keep slip sliding. They're going to keep flipping. They're going to keep jerk dancing in your face and whining, all up in your face. And now the fact that Cleanna done tried you the first couple episodes when she ran and pushed you, now she think you a punk. So she tried to punk you in your face, and you kind of let her slide. You really should have slapped her the moment she got so deep in your face like that. So after that happens, with her getting popped in, with her almost getting popped in the face, security kind of gets in between it. Next thing you know, Evelyn, her sneaky ass, sees an easy way in and grabs her wig, snatches her wig hard. She snatches the girl's wig. Next thing you know, security escorts Cleanna out. Cleanna got a whole little bob walking up on that closet. Poor Cleanna. At least you got a good chunk of hair, girl. At least think about that as the positive side. They didn't snatch your wig and you got set it off braids. You didn't have to set it off braids. So they take her out. Brittany is automatically uncomfortable. She's like, oh my God, like this is like, I can't be in this environment. Like this is so toxic. I hosted the Johnson's Cabaret reunion, but this is even more toxic. And I'm like, okay, now, like you done hosted for Zeus. You done see Jocelyn and Ballistic beat up a girl and he's a whole nigga. So you need to relax, Brittany. I get you being affected. If it's not directly you could be affected by something that's not specifically you. But I just felt like, okay, like you putting a little bit too much sauce in the flavor. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a little bit too much. I get it though, but not too much. Okay. Like, okay. Like, I'm just saying. All right. So, Brittany felt away. The event kind of ends. Jennifer and Evelyn, their grown friendship is secured. Okay. She snatched a wig for her. This friendship though, I low-key don't, I'm not saying I'm not a fan of it, but I just see that if there were other people around, this friendship wouldn't last. That's all I'm going to say. If Shawnee was heavily integrated in this group, this friendship would have probably not been lasting. If Malaysia was heavily integrated in this group, this friendship probably wouldn't last. You know why? Evelyn, I think, still likes Malaysia. I don't know. I don't think they're best of friends, but I don't think Evelyn has a problem with LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo. Now, LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo, and of course, Jennifer don't get along because she threw a table at her. Shawnee was the one who told who told on Jennifer for talking about her daughter. So you think if those two were integrated in this group so heavily, their friendship would be as tight as Clam's ass? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So even though they, all chummy, okay, we'll see how long it lasts if other people come around. I'll say that. So the next day, it's a brunch just to eat and stuff and catch up and kind of talk about what happened. Next thing you know, Brittany's like, I'm not going. Justine like, why are you not going? Brittany's like, you're going? Justine's like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm finna go. Like, I eat all day. Like, you feel me? Like, this belly got to get food. Which I'm like, I feel Justine, child. I know VH1 don't be charging them for them foods and them outings. Child, I'll be going to every single one and get me a good to-go plate every time on my style. Like, I don't care. So we also find in this episode that Cleanna has to be kicked out of the circle. This is what to me is unfair because y'all weren't mad except for Brittany that Brooke got up, but they Cleanna did kind of the same thing but worse, and she got to get kicked out the circle. But I get it though, because Cleanna was being a little bit too much. She went from 0 to 1,000 too quickly. Like, you didn't even let it cook. You just like, at least with Tammy, she had multiple scenes before she popped the bitch. Like, you feel me? Like, she did like at least 15 scenes and then she popped her. I don't know if all her scenes were cut out because she's like a friend of the Basketball Wives or what. But every scene we seen her, she was either trying to pop somebody in the mouth, screaming at somebody in an argument, and that's it. We didn't get to see like a happy middle, maybe a couple happy middle scenes, but a lot of it was just a lot of confrontation. So that's why I think it was appropriate to kick her out the circle. Damn. Can we get LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo back? In this episode also, we see that Jennifer gets a puppy. How convenient. She gets scammed and then a puppy magically pops up. Wow. Anyways, just be careful, Jennifer. Brooke, you guys, is doing a fundraiser for her daughter, and we found out that Brooke is from the South Central. Not everything makes sense. The fact that Brooke is from the South Central, everything clicks. Everything clicks. It comes together. Okay? No wonder she's so petty and can't let stuff go. She's from the South Central. The fundraiser is great. Brooke's scenes to me are some of the best when it comes to branding. She's still in the mess, but she kind of knows how to separate herself and have her own thing going on. Now, Vanessa makes it a promise to leave Jennifer in business alone and to not dig into anybody else's business unless they ask for it. And Jennifer lets the husband know, the boyfriend know. The boyfriend didn't really seem to address too much of it. I don't know if he's scared to talk about it, but I want to hear, why you got arrested for all that time and everything. Like, I want to know all the info. I'm just saying. Because then it'll reveal if you are trying to hit Jennifer for easy lick. And the episode kind of ends off there. Brittany wants to take a separation from the group and everything like that. My whole thing is, Brittany, you kind of knew what you were signing up for, especially with these group of hyenas. So I don't feel too much of a petty for her, because it's kind of like, girl, like, it's reality television. Like, it's petty. Like, I feel like with reality television, people are making a mistake with integrating it with their own lives. Y'all got to treat it like it's a job. You clock in and you clock out. Brittany, sometimes don't forget to clock out. That's the problem. So let's get into Basketball Wives Orlando. All right. So Megan says that she, with her podcast, has goals of being the next Wendy Williams and basically the next big thing on TV. We're gonna leave that there, okay? Not too much. I ain't gonna say too much. I'm sorry. Buki Butt just doesn't have the personality for that. Like, I feel like Megan's highly overhyped. Maybe it's because of the interactions I've had with her, but I just feel like she's like extremely overhyped and not that good of a person. Sorry. Anyways, we see in this episode she's filming like a podcast, like a collab podcast. It's like a sex collab podcast that she's doing with another podcast where they talk about more of, relationships, sex and stuff in general. And she's inviting all the girls to go and basically meet to, have this podcast. They all have to dress in lace and everything and so forth, right? Now, the person that she wants to bring as a special guest is Four from Black Ink Crew. If y'all don't know, Four is a freak. If y'all go on his Twitter, apparently he be, banging out pumpkins. Like, he poked a hole in a pumpkin and stroked it. He poked a hole in a turkey and stroked it. He likes to get put in a cage. No stunner girl mess. Okay, not that way. But he likes to get put in a cage and BDSM vibes. Okay. And then also, what else he likes to do? He also likes, the Big WK's 8. So his, kinks are a lot more extreme than a regular dude. Okay. How do I feel about that? I feel like it is what it is, unless it's okay and it's fine as long as you tell your partner this is what you're into and they're aware of it. Okay. And you give them that choice before you hop in the bedroom with them. So I feel like it's all fine and dandy. What I don't like is the publicizing of it everywhere, because I feel like it's to the point where you do have younger children and that is affecting them. So kids are cruel, and if they find out that that's your dad, they're going to bully him. Even if when they get to high school and middle school and all that type of stuff, they still probably going to get bullied for stuff like that. Because nowadays, kids just do not care. They fight for no reason. They argue for no reason. They pick on people for no reason, just for the fun of it. So I feel like he should be more mindful of that. But then again, I feel like he's doing all this to meet child support. So it's like, girl, he's really doing it for y'all. No shade. So, of course, on this series, we have Nikki. Nikki is Forrest's ex. Y'all remember her from Black Ink Crew when she bopped Cat upside the head. Megan doesn't tell Nikki that she's inviting Forrest to the podcast night. So the day of the podcast night, And she says that she doesn't tell Nikki because she feels like Nikki will try to get Four not to come, or will try to convince Megan to not invite Four. Here's two things. Megan, you're full of shit. Let me tell you why. You didn't tell her because you didn't want Nikki not to show up. Because Nikki could have just not showed up. Unless contractually they forced her into showing up. That's why the producers told you probably not to tell nobody. But don't make it seem like she would call for it, like, hey, Ford, don't show up. I doubt she's even in heavy communication with the man like that. And two, like I said, I doubt she would have probably popped up due to her being triggered with him going out with her and all this stuff being publicized about the man. And now, it's all out there about what he's into. So they probably thinking, oh, was you doing that with him? Which is a little bit embarrassing. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Now, Four gets there, all the girls are there. Nikki's just in shock. Okay, they're all in their laces, leathers, and all. Nikki is just shocked as heck because Four gets up there. He starts talking about how he's into BDSM. So they ask him the sexuality question. So, like, what are you into? He doesn't really say it. He said it's all about the vibe. Okay, no Krishan Rock. It's a vibe. Okay, so that's what he's into. So I'm like, okay, so you're giving Pan. All right, you like the T girls, you like the niggas. All right, you like the grass. So I'm like, okay, at least he's being honest. That's my whole thing. I feel like as long as he's being honest, I don't see a huge issue with it. I just don't like the publication of it because of, your kids. But that's besides the point. He starts talking about all of that. And I didn't even know BDSM stand for that. That's some satanic shit. He was like bondage, nakedness, Satanism, mutiny. I said, bitch, what? When I tell you I gagged, mind you, I'm listening to it as I'm doing something. So I'm like, what? I didn't know it stood for that. Let's Google and see what BDSM stands for, okay? Bondage, discipline, or domination, sadism or submission, and maxiosism. Maxiosism. I was like, I gag because it sounds worse when it's spelled out versus the acronym. I had to look at the phone because I wasn't looking during that, so I was just listening. So I'm like, wait a minute. I know Nikki gagged because that is literally it is a little bit, it's shocking when you dated someone you didn't know they true stuff. Like they real business. Okay. So I get it, bro. I get it. And Maggie was wrong for that. Produced or not, you was wrong. Especially if y'all was friends before the show. That is fucked up. In the long term of it, that's extremely fucked up. Because the scene could have still happened. Let me tell you, let's say she didn't show up. Y'all could have still had him, and she could have still had a problem because it could have been like, oh, why did you invite my ex to your event after I opened up to you? And then she could have been like, yeah, but I at least gave you a heads up and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And that would have made her even look more innocent instead of doing what she did, and now she looked shisty. The whole episode they kept calling her Shady Megan, Shady this. And yeah, they start going on and about that, about how she's shady and so on and so forth. And also in this episode, we see Mulan. She wants to take the her Big Debbie cakes out and get them replaced and tossed, which I think is very risky. We saw K Michelle and everything that she went through with it. We all know that K Michelle's buttocks are not real, and she did have a whole lot of stuff stuffed in there. Fix a flat, damn, pieces of Carly Red's mic, like a whole lot of stuff up in there. And she went through a lot of complications getting it removed. So hopefully Mulan thinks about this long and hard because it may not even be worth it to get it removed. Okay. Now, also in this episode, Ashley's planning this event for autism, and they came out publicly with having Ashley's husband say that he's on the spectrum, which I think is great to see somebody his age that's successful on the spectrum. It shows you that you really could accomplish anything. So shout out to Ashley for that whole storyline. Okay, and that was really it for Basketball Orlando. So next, let's go to Married to Medicine. So Married to Medicine really revolved around the wedding. My job, y'all, tell me how. Listen, I worked this weekend gig, right? I gagged when I seen this. The wedding planner, I know him. I'm like, bro, the world is too small. Everybody reuses the same people. So literally, I work at weddings and stuff on the weekends, like all throughout Florida. So like I've seen like so much weddings, it's not even funny. And doing like photography and stuff. And the Johnny guy, I actually know him. I gag. I'm like, bro, Johnny did her wedding. So it's Sweet Tea's wedding, y'all. And Sweet Tea is very excited and she's very emotional about some of the stuff that's gonna happen. Her teeth sticking out her mouth. Her family though seem really nice people. She says that her people had to come around as to how old Greg was. And I'm like, listen, the guy got coin. He might be a little bit crazy, but he ain't gonna do no outlandish type of stuff to your daughter. So she's in good hands. I'm more worried about her than him. And they questioned Phaedra as to why Quad was invited to the bachelorette party. Let me tell y'all something. Phaedra is so full of shit. It's like ridiculous. Now I get like I remember it like watching Atlanta Housewives. I used to be like, man, like I don't think she's that like messy and bro. Phaedra is calculated as hell. I think she knew that they took Heavenly off that wedding list. Am I the only one who thinks that? I feel like she knew all along. Phaedra knew all along that they took her off that damn wedding list. It's facts. Because she was like, where's Phaedra? Where's Heavenly? My bad. Where's Heavenly? Where's Heavenly? She knew they took Heavenly off that list. She knew. So they questioned her about the bachelor party. She feels as if, she needed Quad needed to be brought so that way they know that Sweet Tea has nothing to worry about. No, the producers told you to bring Quad to start up drama. Let's keep it a back. But of course, they can't say that and break the fourth wall. Okay. Now, throughout this episode, before we get to the wedding, we see the son, Cecil and Simone. I'm scared for them. I feel like Simone is sick of Cecil's shit. And the reason why I say this is because I feel like Simone thinks that Cecil's laziness and laid backness is rubbing off on their kids, which is not good. So I kind of feel where Simone is coming from because it's kind of like you don't want your kids to be like lazy and about shit. So it's like I get it. You hear me? Like that's not good. Like that's like really bad. So I don't too much blame her. And then also I feel that when it comes to, the kids being self-sufficient themselves, and like I said about the whole King situation, it bothers me when I see kids with, parents with well-off careers be lazy because you have the resources. A lot of us aren't that lucky. Like my parents, like they work 9 to 5 type of jobs. They don't make coin like that. So it's like I didn't have the privilege to get this and get it that. That's why I had to get out of the med. Like on my side, like a nigga was hustling at like 15, 14. Oh God. You feel me? Like so that's what gets on my nerves when I see it on TV because it's like y'all don't know how good y'all have it. It's like ridiculous. But anyways, I get Simone's point. I'm sorry, Cecil. Don't you instill that in your sons to be all lazy and lackadaisical because you never know what may happen. Tragedy strikes quick. So the last thing you want to do is have them be so laid back and think life's a breeze, and then something happens and they're panicking. So I agree with Simone 100%. I feel like Simone is slowly but surely resenting that. Allura looks so cute in her prom. Oh, that girl is a bad bitch. Okay, a bad motherfucker. Shout out to Allura. She looks really, really good during her prom pictures and everything like that. So we get to the wedding. Mind you, they do a flashback to the wedding as to what Quad is doing. Quad was in a tub. Quad, I feel like this is your last season. They need to put you on Atlanta Housewives. Let's do a swap-a-roo. We took Phaedra and we put her on Married to Medicine. Put Quad and put her on Housewives of Atlanta because we know Kenya and Quad don't like each other like that. So that would be interesting. Take her because at this point she doesn't really fit in. She doesn't really have a place, and it's awkward and it's weird. It's getting weird. Like it's really getting weird. Okay, so we get to the wedding and the wedding looks really, really nice or whatever. And then Heavenly gets there. Heavenly's talking so much shit on the way there. She's like, oh, honey, you think Quad gonna be there? If there is a wedding, we gonna see. They get there and Heavenly's not on the list. I wouldn't even let him in. I feel like they was being too nice because Daddy asked to come in and eventually got in some way. I no, because Heavenly, your bad and negative energy gonna spread throughout that wedding. And they're gonna get divorced before you know it. Okay, so they did the right thing by leaving her up out that list because Heavenly was popping too much shit at that damn bachelorette party, and I love Heavenly, but she was okay, and that was really about it. I'm scared for their marriage though. I hope Gregory made her sign a prenup because something about her screams very unstable to me, not mentally but emotionally, and I feel like she's gonna have a hard time harboring her emotions when they go through stuff. So yeah. Last but not least, Potomac. I'm sick of this franchise. I'm so sick of Potomac. It's like ridiculous. Wendy was obviously targeted. Do I think Wendy lied about some stuff? Yes. I think she knows exactly who Ninika is. But I think she's seen the clout chaser and Ninika, and she didn't want to hang out with Ninika. The tea is on the streets that they asked her to introduce Ninika, and she said no. So then they asked somebody else to do it, Ashley, and Ashley said yes. That's the tea on the Potomac streets. And I think when it comes to Wendy, she should have peeped game and been super nice to the bitch. So you could have no storyline. I wouldn't have my mama call, would have did nothing. I would have been like, oh my God. Like I would have, bro, I would have had her look like a fool. I swear to God, more than a fool that she already does. Anybody who doesn't see the fact that this new girl isn't coming in hot with an agenda is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. It's obvious. Your mother submitted my name to a shrine. Like, come, you're doing too much. Do I think the mom called her? Probably, because you insinuated something that wasn't true to Ashley. And the fact that people are letting Ashley get away with telling a bold-faced lie is crazy to me. Her big foreheaded ass should have got cussed out on that dinner table. And they just let her pass by like it's funny. A lot of people do not understand when it comes to African culture and certain things that they're talking about like this. It's not funny. It's dark shit. It's voodoo shit, and you don't play with voodoo, okay? Because it's real, very much real. I've heard the stories. I'm Haitian, so it's nothing to play around with. So the fact that they're kind of making light of it to me is kind of sick, and they need to stop doing that because you coming in with this, I hope the African culture is frowning upon you, Ninika. I don't even know how to pronounce her name. We're gonna call her New Girl. So New Girl to me, I don't like. I'm sorry. Call me biased, whatever. I don't care. She's coming across with too much energy too quickly. Now, Wendy, you're a bad liar. You wanna know why? The way when they asked you, did Eddie unfriend him on Facebook? You're like, well, I don't remember everybody I went to college with. Cap. I feel like Eddie knows who he is. He knows who his wife is, and she knows who Nanika is. The problem is, Nanika, nobody owes you friendship. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Who do you, like? What do you think this is? It just doesn't make sense to me. It gets on my nerves. Okay, and then also, Wendy. When it comes to them arguing at that table, Wendy shouldn't have said, "Clear that shit up." She shouldn't have said shit. This is where Wendy should have played smart opposition. Okay, this is where you need to play defense, not off. No, this is where you need to play offense, not defense. I would have been like, wait, I'm so confused. What happened? Can you clear it for me, honey? Had her looking crazy. I would have been like, why are you so angry with me? I didn't know my mother did this. I apologize. If she did do it, I will ask her. I don't believe she did, though. I would have had that girl looking crazy. Okay. Do I think the mom called? Yes. But do I think she said she committed her name to a shrine? No. Because think about it. If you're gonna do voodoo on someone, you not or submit their name to a shrine, you're not gonna tell them that. That's stupid. Because what if they do another form of voodoo and blast that spirit away? So it's like, no, it doesn't work like that. Like that to me was just dumb. Now, the unfriended of the Facebook. Eddie looked so guilty. Happy Eddie was looking like constipated Eddie. He looked like he had to poo. I was like, what the fuck? It's obvious he did it on purpose and unfriended him on purpose. You couldn't even hide that. Juan hid his cheating better than you hid the fact that you unfriended him on purpose. No shade. And what bothers me about this whole situation, we're not focusing on fucking Juan and Robin. They're getting away again. It's like, oh, it makes me so mad. Like every season, they slide away. They slip and slide throughout the cheating rumors and get away with it. This scene was supposed to be grilling Juan bitch ass. Why are you cheating on your wife? Why are you out there with that young girl like that and y'all not friends like that? Why? That should have been that scene. But nah, y'all want to talk about African culture and voodoo. Okay? To me, I hate when they bring on new girls that do too much or that are coming in with a purpose. It's really irritating because as a viewer, we could see the BS. So it's like you're not fooling us. It's not entertaining to watch. It's actually annoying. Okay? That's really about it. Now, Wendy, when you got up and also pulled Mia to the side and said you want to talk to Mia, you shouldn't have did that too because that made you even look more guiltier. I think she does know that girl, but I think she saw the thirst from afar. Okay? Let me know what you guys think about some of these show topics down below, and we're out, babies. No personal thing.